Hi, everyone. I always imagined it would be very intimidating looking out at the sea of faces on All College Day, but there's nothing I would like more right now. However, as you sit watching this at your home while I give it at mine, I will visualize all of your wonderful faces and it won't be intimidating at all. Thank you for this award. It is especially meaningful as I've called Whatcom my work home for more than 30 years. I came to Whatcom as the first director of international programs back in 1988. My hair was quite a different color then. That hire was an act of faith on both of our parts. Whatcom only had 9 international students, and I was brand new to the area, still going through grad school, but willing to work part-time, hoping the position would grow with the number of students. It did, but life took me in another direction as we started our family, and suddenly the increasing number of overseas recruiting trips lost their appeal. Though they still provide me with a ready source of stories. Ask me about Harold Heiner and the Tokyo McDonald's. Though I gave up that full-time position, Whatcom still had a place for me doing work I enjoyed, advising and teaching, and eventually coordinating the learning contract program. There was even a place for our children as they attended our excellent Child Development Center. I'm sometimes sheepish about the fact that my career has occurred largely at one place, but then I think about the movie It's a Wonderful Life.
No, but you're thinking of this place all wrong, as if I had the money back in a safe. The money's not here. Well, your money's in Joe's house. That's right next to yours. And in the Kennedy house, and Mrs. Maitland's house, and 100 others. You're lending them the money to build, and then they're going to pay it back to you as best they can. Now, what are you going to do, foreclose on them?
And it reminds me that it's the quality of our relationship to a place and the investments that we make in each other that matter, and I feel gratitude. Now that our work and our home lives have merged, and since I'm giving my speech from home, I thought I would give you a peek into my life. This is where I live. Tan house, white porch, soon to be this color, maybe. And down the street from me are 2 people that have been a lifeline in quarantine for me, Jody DeWild and Monique Steffens. If I wander down the street and stand in front of their house long enough, one of them will come out. Gardening's been another lifeline. Dahlias from our own Tanya. You're right, Tanya, Miracle Grow. Here's hoping that the tomatoes are a different color by the time you see this. Here is our COVID project with legs, our pandemic puppy. He gets us out walking, sometimes. Milo, come on, let's go. I share this all to make a point about something that's been a guiding principle for me in my work with learning contracts, and that is build the learning from where the student lives. What are they experiencing now? Where do they see themselves headed? What do they value? What are they passionate about, curious about, or sometimes angry about? And 9 times out of 10, there is a way to build a project connected to something in their life, even when the student comes with a very specific type of credit that they need to earn. I think of projects such as writing a business plan, which was done by a returning adult student as she got ready to take over the business where she had worked for years. Or our Laidlaw Award winner, Guadalupe Hernandez, who did 2 contracts studying culturally responsive teaching practices that came out of her own experiences as a student. Those are just a couple of examples. Among our discipline awards given in 2020, 12 students had done projects through learning contracts. And it's true that strong students might self-select into independent study, but I think that it's also true that the experience of connecting one-on-one with a faculty mentor, working on their own questions and answers is transformational. And that is the biggest part of the program, the work that's done between the students and the faculty agreeing to mentor them. I've always felt that I am the luckiest employee here, as I get to have a front row seat to see the amazing work that our faculty do. If I had 68 minutes instead of 6 to 8, I would name all of you who step up so willingly and describe the wonderful work that you have done, because you inspire me. By saying yes, you say to the student, I believe you have good ideas. I see you as capable, and I'm willing to invest in you. I know not every learning contract is a mind-blowing revelation, but it might be the thing needed to get over the finish line or to get through a rough patch. It makes a difference, and the students appreciate how you show up for them. I could not do my job without the advisors and the AIM coaches who make referrals that come from the deep supportive work that they do with students. Or folks like Hadia or Lana, Rachel, and Veronica, who are creative wizards to figure out all the niggly details of creating new courses on the fly and getting them into the system with lightning speed. I also want to point out that the very existence of this program is unique. Not many community colleges have this same type of program. Other schools might have an independent study opportunities, but they're not supported in the same way. Whatcom has its roots in serving non-traditional students with, and I quote, radical innovations. And the college carries that forward in the way that it structures and supports this program, and I deeply appreciate it. I talk about Whatcom being my home, as many of us do. Yet are there students, especially students of color, who don't feel they belong at Whatcom? What about colleagues of color? Has my comfort and ease with my Whatcom home come at the expense of others? And what role has our education system played in the lack of equity in our country? I think to answer those questions, we must listen and acknowledge and work to create a community of belonging that builds on our students' strengths so they can continue to contribute. And it's our students' strengths that make me hopeful for the future. I close with a quote which I think expresses the hope we all have for our students as we witness their journey. Thank you.